I'm telling you, this is the perfect time to sing that song. It's a rainy night in Georgia. Feels like it's raining all over the world. Oh, isn't it though?
The first row, please. No te puedes sentar en la primera fila.
All right, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm glad people made it here. It's raining very hard outside. I'm going to call the docket. Please stand and let me know you are here. If you don't answer, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, we have Jose Garcia, Martin Martinez. Okay, all right, thank you. We have Jonathan Calderon in custody. Nicholas Ornelas. Brandon Charles Morris. In custody, we have Fernando Carmona. Tyrone Shepard. Jesus Garza. All right, thank you.
First row,
Melissa.
First row.
Yes. Who is Melissa? Can you pronounce that last name?
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know what to do with that J, Deputy Laura.
I'm here for her. I need to post.
All right, and counsel, how do you pronounce her last name?
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
like a spell.
Okay. In custody, we have Jorge Diaz, Julian Juarez. Thank you. In custody, we have Gerson Rodriguez, Christopher Lee Gonzalez.
There you go.
In custody, we have Jesus Solis, Raul Lucio. In custody, we have Sean McHazlitt, Jose Garcia. Okay, all right, that hood needs to be taken off. You're in court. Thank you. S. John Smith. Should that S be there? How do you say S with a J with John at the end? Do you pronounce the S or no? S. John Ray Smith. Eddie Marine.
You stand up when she calls your name.
In custody, we have you, Tambasi Iquiri, Lindsay Pierce. In custody, we have Jesus Solis, Cruz Rivas, Daniel Durón, Victor Ramirez, Jesus Martinez Cantu, David Leon.
Stand up.
Heraclio Padilla, Thank you. Jose de Jesus Gallegos. And I pronounced that name so perfectly, and they're not here to appreciate it. Jay Delgado is in custody. Wilberth Villamil is in custody. Jose Garcia, custody. John Albert Sanchez. Thank you. Francisco Martinez, custody. Javon Crockett, custody. Luis Benjamin Silva. Good morning. Fanny Stewart. Fanny Stewart. Luis Angel Gomez. Luis Angel Gomez. Angel Ramon. Jess Anthony Frank Moffness. How do you pronounce your last name? Moffis. Well, there's no A. It's Mafnas. All right, Moffis. Okay, thank you. Janelle Garza. Janelle Garza. Christopher Michael Delgado. Christopher Delgado. Christopher John Anthony. Thank you. Justin Barella. All right. Justin Joseph Barella. All right, Fernando Trio, if you're here, oh, well, he's not here, he's in federal custody. It's been reset to June 20th. Michael Keith Johnston. Michael Keith Johnston. Quentin Kolb. All right, thank you. Always great seeing you, Phyllis.
First row, sir.
Jeremiah Escato Martinez.
Other side.
Thank you. Thank you. Shawana Canales. Alejo Jesus Aguirre. Thank you. Joseph Rentala. Yvonne Perez is in custody. Jose Del Bosque. Thank you. Aisha Ortiz. Oh, that's 11.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Monica Gallardo, 11. Hillary Stillman, 11. Antonio Casablanca Jr., 11. Rodolfo Aceves. Thank you. Oh, I did that, man. Thank you. Always good seeing you, Mr. Cisneros. Rudy Cantu. Thank you. Luis Silva. All right, thank you. You're on the docket twice, I guess. Michael Cox. Thank you. Matthew Gonzalez. Thank you. Casper Ayala. Casper Ayala. Oh, custody. All right, anyone who came in late or your name was not called. Yes, what's your name? Jose Gonzalez. Do you know who your attorney is? All right, we'll call you up in a moment, okay? Yes. I'm sorry, what? All right, so Mr. Campbell, you need to be on the front row. Your name? Justin Barella. Do you know who your attorney is? Oh, okay, thank you. Yes. What's your name? Christopher what? Who's your attorney? All right, everyone who's here, this is felony court. There are wide ranges of punishment, up to death or life in prison. You should treat this like it's important. Everybody should be able to rattle off their attorney's name, and that's one number everybody should have memorized. All right, Mr. Anthony, we're going to take care of you in just a moment. All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. Number one, there are files over here. These files belong to Criminal Trial Division. Criminal Trial Division, could you raise your hand? Over here is family violence. Family violence, would you raise your hand? Those are where the files are located. What you need to do, because I try to keep the middle of the courtroom as least congested as possible, attorneys, just grab your file, put it on the desk, have a seat. They're going to call you. First person whose file is there is first come, first serve in this court. The only exception is if someone needs an interpreter, because there's a shortage of interpreters and they can't spend all day. And once we call them, we bring them in and it's done very quickly. To the attorneys, if you have an inmate and you request that inmate, please do not leave, because the deputies, for security reasons, can only have so many inmates out here at one time. And if you call for your inmate and you leave, you're taking up somebody else's space. Do not approach the court coordinator asking for a reset or a continuance. Court coordinator, Ms. Ferguson, could you raise your hand? Do not approach her asking for a continuance or a reset. Do not text her, because I am the only person who can give you that. Do not approach the court if you have not conferred with your client and conferred with your state. If your client is in custody, they need to be brought out. If your client needs an interpreter, if you don't need an interpreter, I still need one, unless they're speaking French. And even if they are speaking French, we still need an interpreter, so it will be legal and on the record. All right, everyone, today is Thursday. It's our Friday. It's beautiful weather outside because plants are being watered, grass is being watered. Tomorrow you have an off day, so that means that you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So let's be patient. Let's be kind to each other. Guys, you have that inner pocket. If somebody needs some extra patience, give it to them. All right, everyone, let's have a great Thursday. Please confer. Hi, thanks for coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. Oh, no problem. And I'll let you know, you'll know we're on the record because I'll call the style of the case. Thank you.
Oh, you do it. Oh.
Oh, and Caroline, for GUZMAN, this is GUZMAN. Do you want me to keep this out here? Or- Okay. You're like, no, we don't want it lost. See, I kept it right there. Who's here on Melissa Castaneda?
Oh, Castaneda.
Castaneda. Okay. I can only say it if I do that.
I bet you're a lot better with GAUX.
Yeah, okay.
Huh, Louisiana?
Yeah, I'm trying.
So,
This is PTD. Where are we on that?
well, since we were left court in February with her, and with the 7 other cases we had, we put them all away and did not put her application. I had it filled out today, will be submitted today. I messed it up.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, I need a date for PTD on Castaneda.
I
All right, Castañeja. All right.
May 2nd.
All right, we'll be back on May 2nd.
All right, thanks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you your reset form.
I had a friend
Mhm.
go golf, he doesn't live in town anymore, but his last name was Toriaga.
Oh, my gosh.
Monterey. And they called the name, they go, force. And then he said, well, how do you say that? I said, just like it's spelled.
Well, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I told you about my reason, one of his daughters wants to bring you that poster.
Oh,
Oh, we didn't forget, but we're trying to hook it up when you're available and she's not in school.
okay.
And spring break, we were gonna do it, but you.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't forget.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
You want to do an arrow or?
Yeah, Matt.
And you're ready on this one?
No, I'm still waiting for them to bring, I just didn't know.
All right. Yes. You're not reaching over the,
Mine took that long.
all right, do you have the,
So
File?
I don't,
There's the difference.
There's
the big difference.
it is not.
oh, it reached through? I'm like,
Awesome. 22 CR 9446. I can't pronounce his first name.
What's the last?
But he hit us. You tell me how to pronounce. Thank you. Okay, I feel better. I'll wait till the judge tries to pronounce that one. However you pronounce the judge, I will pronounce it.
Okay.
Oh, and also, I think he's got a warrant in FTA. He just recalled for today. Yes, his artist. 2020 CR 6.98.
Yes, that's it.
I had it on calendar.
Yes.
Actually appear today, not warrant. but-
Jesus Lisa on the docket.
Mhm.
Okay.
He's an inmate. It's a case that I had request for an evaluation.
All right, excuse me, could everyone please whisper?
Had a request for an evaluation and the DA hasn't gotten it back and I haven't gotten an email either from Dr. Scott. But apparently it's been done. It just hasn't been.
Oh, I need a file. Is it on the docket today?
Yeah, it is.
Have you pulled the file?
Jesus Solis. I think you told us.
Bashan, is Bashan here?
She went to Berkeley.
Okay. Caroline? I'm finished with, finished up with this. I'm just waiting on Bashan for this, and then I'll give that to you. All right, if I could see the parties on Corwin Campbell. Who's here on Corwin Campbell? Sorry, interpreter first.
That's my case, Judge.
All right, Jesus Martinez Cantu. And where's the interpreter? Hi, I can't see without my glasses. How are you doing? All right, it's always great seeing you. All right, who's the state on Jesus Eduardo Martinez Cantu? It's family violence.
Correct.
Okay, we were here last about a cell phone extraction.
Yes, ma'am, we're still waiting for that.
Does anyone have an update on how long they think?
No, I don't know if I've ever worked on this case, Your Honor, but there was something uploaded a couple weeks ago on Diversion from SAPD indicating that they do have a download, but it does not contain any messages between the victim and the defendant. So I'm assuming they have a copy now. So hopefully we can
You're
get
not on the
it.
record. No,
pretty
one second,
quickly.
just 1 second.
Yeah.
If I call the style of case and say state of Texas versus, then that's when we're on the record.
So official, okay.
Okay, no. Oh, we're always so official in here. All right, yes. So I'm sorry.
So we have, it looks like a report was uploaded to Verapid a couple weeks ago. Indicating that they did do a dump on the cell phone, but they didn't locate the communications that I guess they were hoping to find. But there is a download that is available, so it's completed. We just need to get a copy from the same meeting.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you all a 30-day reset. Make sure that there are no other cell phone issues or any other discovery issues. So this will be the last reset for discovery.
I think this is all we were waiting on. They gave me the CPS record.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a 30-day reset for discovery? All right, so on May 4th, I'm going to expect an acknowledgement of discovery and state to make an offer.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else, counsel?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Deputy Laura, I believe defense counsel has completed with Jesus Martinez Cantu.
Your Honor, will you excuse?
Yes, you too. All right, who's here on Corwin Campbell? Corwin Campbell? The attorney for Corwin Campbell. Matthew Gonzalez. All right. Yes. Court is calling 2022 CR 10839, State of Texas versus Matthew Gonzalez. I need parties to who are not a part of this hearing to please whisper. Could I have announcements, state?
Prayer for the state. Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel De La Garza for the defendant.
And are you Matthew Gonzalez? All right. So I asked that this case be reset from April 3rd because I wanted to think about the evidence that had been presented to me. and make a decision. So there were a lot of things that the court found compelling. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty. Court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be Chapter 62 compliance. And there's to be no contact with the complainant or the complainant's family. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's here on Jesus Solis? You're welcome. You did a great job.
Thank you. I should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it is. Thank you. All right, and where's Solis?
He's in the box.
All right, Mr. Solis, if you come forward. So you were mentioning that there was, he's already been interviewed or evaluated. We're just waiting on the report.
Right, that's what he's telling me, but we don't have a report and the DA doesn't have a report.
And that is true, Judge. I just looked it up in the system and the report was sent back to MAG on March 31st.
Okay,
So they're just waiting, I guess, just to put it all together.
all right, so I'll need a date. And can you make sure this remains on the radar for Magistrates Court?
I can bring back on May 11th. Fine.
All right, we'll come back on May 11th.
Judge, while we're here, I had previously asked for a bond reduction on my client. The court at that time decided not to reduce the bond. We'd like to re-urge that. His bond is set at $30,000. He can't afford it.
You want to talk to the state?
I'd be happy to, Judge.
All right.
Have a seat, sir.
Do we have the interpreter here?
You need another interpreter, Judge?
Yes,
Oh, they didn't tell me that.
it's on Padilla. Okay.
Let me get him down here again.
Ms. Abrams. Hi, could you come forward for a moment? If someone is released from safety, how long will it take for them from their release to be placed back and have the ignition interlock device installed?
It really depends on the vendor, on the house that they decide on when it's getting installed.
Okay.
So typically I'll ask that you give them a time frame within a week or within 2 weeks.
I'm going to give 3 days just so that we can keep tabs. And if, of course, if there's an issue, just let the court know. And it's on Carlos Landon.
Okay, I'll give it.
Okay, thanks. Martin Martinez. Where is Martin Martinez?
This record, I will have 3 short witnesses.
Okay, you need to be on that side. All right, I need everyone to whisper. The court is calling 2022 CR 8754, State of Texas versus Martin Daniel Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Jorgens for the state.
Larry Bloomquist for the defense. We're ready.
And are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea on April 6th. You entered a plea of guilty. According to the plea bargaining agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 5 years in the prison. The state is silent on your applications. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor. I'm reviewing it now.
All right, defense?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Defense, do you have any objection?
No, I have no objection to this. Yes,
All right. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor, I have 4 short witnesses, including my client.
All right, you can call up your witness.
The first witness I'll call is Marty Martinez.
All right, and you'll need to slide over. Sure. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you're going to have to speak up so that the court reporter can hear.
I do.
Will you state your name for the record and spell it?
It's Martin Daniel Martinez, MARTINDANIEL, MARTINEZ.
All right, defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. And you go by Marty, is that correct?
That is correct.
And how are you related to Martin Martinez Jr.?
I am his father.
And talk to me a little bit about Martin. What kind of kid was Martin as he was growing up?
Very respectful kid, growing up. Was great in school. No problems with him. He wasn't a problem child, thank God.
Where did you go to high school?
So he went to East Central High School.
And after high school, what did he do after that?
He went into LVN school.
And has he been working as a nurse since that time?
Yes, he also worked part-time at Bill Miller's and other jobs while he was going to school.
And are you aware that he has some health conditions that may be difficult for him to be incarcerated?
Yes.
And can you briefly describe that for the court?
Yes, my son was born with a rectal anus and then a patch. So he had to have a colostomy bag. And he went through a lot of doctor visits, operation, correct this, but he still has issues to this day. Having bowel movement.
And then let's talk about your son. Has he been like instrumental in your family and helping other family members?
Oh, yes.
Can you give us an example?
Yes, he is there to educate people around him that are in the nursing field. And he's very respectful of people's decisions. But he's a good child.
And does he have children?
Yes, he does.
What kind of father is he?
He is an exceptional father. He loves his kids.
And during the time when he was working in the nursing field and during the time of COVID, was that difficult for him? I said during the time of COVID, when he was working in the nursing field, was that specifically difficult for him in your mind?
Yes, I mean, everyone had their issues, financially, but being that he's a nurse, I mean, he overcame that. I mean, he had a job.
Is there anything that you'd like to tell the judge before she decides to sentence your son?
Yes, I believe he deserves a second chance. We all make mistakes. He is a loving father of 2 kids, a husband, and I believe he won't mess up again. This was a mistake.
And in his life, is this the only time he's ever been in any trouble?
Yes,
He's never been arrested for any other offense other than this current offense.
that is correct.
I'll pass the witness. No questions.
All right, thank you so much for coming and giving me some insight.
Thank you.
All right,
I'll call. Mary.
just one moment, off the record for a moment. Can I have the parties on Herclio Padilla? Are you all ready? I'm sorry, I have to take the interpreter first.
Okay.
All right, counsel, the last time we were here, it was for PTD?
Yes, Judge, my understanding, and Mr. Ruben Flores is the attorney of record on this, but he's in trial in different county. My understanding of the situation is that defendant has already started orientation, he's already completed orientation and it's begun the program.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, I need a reset date for PTD.
I can use May 2nd, Judge.
I'm sure Ruben will be fine with that.
All right, we'll be back on May 2nd. Mr. Padilla, do you have any questions?
But I have the paperwork already. Where it's paid for and everything.
Oh, Judge, I do believe he's completed everything.
Well, who is the prosecutor who's on Herculeo Padilla?
I'm looking it up.
All right, thank you. Jason, it's close to your last day and you're multitasking so well.
So I see that the PTD agreement was entered March 9th. I don't see that it was completed. I think it's usually about 6 to 9 months. So is he expecting a dismissal or?
I mean, if he's done everything up to the court.
Could he show the prosecutor his paper?
Judge, I guess let me reach out to our PTD division and see if I can submit a dismissal.
All right, so if your client will wait in court and we'll see if we could take care of that today.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you so much.
Pleasure, I'll review on.
Okay. And counsel, do you speak Spanish? Oh, okay,
Mr. Flores does, but
okay. And if you can have your client come up, but just give us a moment. He's making a phone call, counsel. Yes. Yes. Thanks. Counsel, were you able to get in touch with them?
She's reaching out to the ladies in charge of it right now.
Okay.
So she's gonna text me back to confirm.
All right, so we're going to go back on the record. Counsel, call your next witness, please.
We'll call Mary Martinez. To the stand.
Mary Martinez. Good morning. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Mary Ann Martinez.
Ms. Martinez, how are you related to Mara Martinez? Why don't you step up here and you speak up so that they're gonna take this in the record. Can you tell me what kind of man your son is?
He's a loving, caring, exceptional son. Everybody else trying to get from me.
Has he ever been in any trouble before?
No,
And
sorry, no,
and your son, tell me about this situation. Has he talked to you about it?
yes,
And has he expressed remorse to you?
yes.
Can you describe that for me?
We cried. We talked about it, we prayed about it. And I just said that we believe in God and that He will protect us and direct us in the right path.
Is religion an important factor in both you and your son's life?
Yeah,
And what would you like to tell the judge before she makes her decision today?
that I believe in second chances as well, and that we all make mistakes, and that he is a responsible person. He really is. It's just something that happened, and that I will take into consideration of being there to support him with everything that happens today.
And Martin has quite a bit of family support, is that correct?
Yes, he does.
And do you feel that he will make every effort to, to comply with whatever the court orders him to do and to improve himself as much as he can?
Yes, and he has.
That's all I have.
All right, any questions?
No questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Call your next witness.
We'll call Sarah Cedillo.
Sarah Cedillo. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
Sarah Cedillo.
And could you spell your last name?
It's Sedillo.
Defense.
Can you describe your relationship with Mark Martinez?
We're extremely close. And I mean, I trust him.
Are you dating? What's your?
Oh, I'm
relationship?
sorry. Why, please? He's my significant other. We've been together for 10 years.
Do you have
So-
children together?
We do. We
How
have
many children?
2 children.
What are their ages and sex?
7, and he's a boy, and a girl, 4 years old.
What kind of father is Mark?
Martin, he's an exceptional father. He does everything for the kids, and he's always there for them. Always, even if he's tired out there playing with them every day, whatever they want to do, and they love him dearly.
And what kind of husband is he?
He's always there, financially, and physically, everything, emotionally, in any hard times, and he supports all our family very well.
Has he ever been in it? Before this, has he ever had any contact with law enforcement?
No, really no.
And how many years have you guys been together all together? Like, before, while you were dating, and then while you had children and all that?
It's been a total of 10 years.
10 years.
Mhm.
And during that time, has he shown himself to be tell us what kind of man you
He's trustworthy, and I can always depend on him anytime I need anything. And just so he's financially stable, he's always provided for all of us and gone an extra mile.
house employee.
He's a registered nurse.
During the time when COVID was returning, he was working a lot of overtime.
Yes, he was, started doing travel with COVID. And working extra hours, working out of town, And just to make extra money for our family.
Was that stressful on both of you?
It was, just for the time that he was away from the kids and. But it was ultimately to buy our house and everything, so for a good reason.
Is there anything you want to tell the judge before she pronounces sentence over Martin?
Just ask you to take into consideration what kind of person he is and that. He doesn't have any history or anything, and we just really. Know that he's never going to do anything like this again. He regrets it. So,
And he's expressed that to you on multiple occasions.
yes.
Just one moment. Ms. Abrams, if you won't have a wait outside, you can wait outside with your house. All right, I'm sorry. Any questions? All right, thank you.
This time we'll call Martin Martinez Jr.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Martin Daniel Martinez Jr.
And Martin, let's start, before we get to what's going on, let's talk about your health first. Can you describe what that is and how that impacts you?
It's a congenital health issue. And perforate payments, there's no full provided when I'm born. So difficulty having those issues about
Okay,
IBS, sorry.
no. So I appreciate his health issues, but let me just tell you what my concern is, so we can cut to the chase. My concern is this incident, according to the PSI and the stipulations, occurred because he's saying he was intoxicated. And then I'm reading the PSI report and he says he's still drinking alcohol. So that's what I want to hear about and I want addressed. Okay, sure.
Well, let's talk about that. So when was the last time you had a drink?
Yesterday.
Do you feel like you have a drinking problem?
I do.
And are you willing to get treatment for that?
I am on.
Well, why did he say in the PSI that he didn't have a drinking problem? He didn't need treatment.
I've come to the realization that I do have.
Well, when was this PSI report done? What date was this PSI report completed?
March 31st.
So,
If that was when it was completed, I don't know when they did the interview. That his interview would have been sometime prior to that.
all right, so you just coming to this realization today that you have a drinking problem and you just drank yesterday?
No.
So when did you have this epiphany that you have a drinking problem?
I was watching the Bill W. documentary. Kind of helped me realize
When did you watch that documentary?
it's on Docket 2 days ago.
Okay.
And is it, you think that there's gonna be some, I mean, you definitely want to get treatment, but you think that you think you need treatment? That sounds like it.
I agree to treatment. I think it's always healthy to bring you better yourself, get away from the exact cause that's happening or creating the problem.
When did your drinking increase?
I wouldn't say a time or day, I think.
I mean, have you been drinking heavily for the last year or so?
Probably yes.
Let's talk about your work. So during the time that you were working, tell us how you're presently employed.
So currently, my contract ended as a travel nurse. Just perfect timing through this situation, but for the past year, or the past 9 years, I've been a registered nurse. I was an LVN first, moved up to an RN, and then continued to grow within my field of practice. Starting out low level floor nursing to ICU, intensive care to rapid response team, COVID team. Well,
How long were you working in the ICU?
for the ICU 2 years, and currently that was where I stayed in my own home hospital, and then probably another 2 years. So in critical care, total 4 to 5 years.
Was that stressful during the time of COVID?
It was very stressful. I have endurance as a nurse. I push myself And, you know,
About how many hours a week were you working?
60 plus.
And was that stressful on you and your family?
It was, but I knew I was needed at the time and I continued to, you know, put the.
Now, because of this charge, is this going to impact your nursing license?
It will, it may, the Board of Nursing has renewed my license for another 2 years after disclosing everything. But at any moment, they can take it away, and if incarcerated, it's a definite takeaway.
But there's very possible you may have to go to some type of nursing board. Even if you get probation, it's very possible you may have to go in front of the nursing board and answer them once all this is terminated, and then they would decide whether you would be able to maintain your license or not.
That is correct. I would have to ask the board, you know, what the next steps are, see what they give me, referendums, continue on and try to persevere through that.
Let's talk about what happened tonight that this occurred. Well, let me ask you this. You understand that your actions have not just impacted you, but it's impacted your family as well.
It has impacted me and my family.
Can you describe this? Can you describe how you feel about the negative way this has impacted your family and potentially may impact them even more if you lose your license, right?
You're correct. I'm letting down my family entirely, financially, physically, emotionally. I am there, you know, as a good person, but this is holding me back from continuing to be that person just a bit.
And let's talk about what happened. So the night that this occurred, you had gotten into a dispute with the owner of the bar, is that correct?
That's correct.
And at some point you got in your car and you shot several rounds at the bar.
That's correct.
I mean, obviously you were intoxicated at the time that occurred.
I was.
Can you describe why you did that or what was in your drunken mind at that point?
The altercation I had, I just recall being pushed down and hit in the face on my knees and asking for them not to do it anymore. Got in my truck, and then that's when I made the mistake of shooting to scare them.
And that was your purpose, was to scare them?
That was my purpose.
And did you shoot at any person?
No, I never intended to hurt anyone, but I didn't realize that I was hurting someone in a different way.
When you say hurting them in a different way, describe what way were you hurting them?
Came to my realization that, you know, I put fear into their lives and put their lives in fear. That is not okay, you know, but my mind wasn't thinking that way when I did that.
But now that you've had time to reflect on it, how do you feel about all that?
I feel remorse. I now see the empathy that, you know, I have. I literally anxious about it. I wish I can tell them I apologize, you know, but I'm not able to talk to them right now, and I understand that. I understand why.
If the judge gives you a chance to remain out of prison and puts you on probation, can you describe what even if she does send you to prison, let's talk about it. What kind of changes are you going to make in your life so that, and what kind of changes do you plan to make in your life after all this is out?
First and foremost, the alcohol is one to get rid of, since it's causing my life to be unmanageable. To continue to grow, you know, I feel like I can do more volunteer work, help out in the community. You know, I don't work as much because I paid off a lot of my bills, and you know, but I feel that I can continue to grow and prosper and reflect on what I've done and continue to make better choices.
And what's the most important thing for you right now?
For me right now, this decision is to stay out of prison, hopefully continue with my nursing career, reach out and get a job, maintain my personal relationship with my family. And ultimately, you know, hope for forgiveness for the rest of my life.
I'll pass witness at this time, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No.
So everybody tiptoed around everything. What exactly did you do?
We talked about it. I used to ask what you shot.
Well, no, what you did was you got into an argument with somebody, and was this at a club?
outside of the bar is.
Yeah, so you're at a bar, not with your children, not with your significant other. You get in an argument, you leave and you come back and you fire shots into that building with the two complainants and other people who are inside. You want to discuss that?
It was a stupid mistake.
No,
I,
that wasn't a mistake. That was a choice.
it was a choice and a mistake. I agree. I honestly didn't understand. It's hard to say. I understood what I was doing, but I was not in my right mind.
Because it says here in the PSI report that you had more than one weapon in your vehicle. And there were several shots that actually hit the building. And there were multiple people in the building. All right, anything else from either side?
Argument, Your Honor.
All right, court will hear your argument.
Judge, I do believe that Martin Martinez Jr. to be a good man. I believe that he's a man who loves his family. I believe that he's somebody who has been a benefit in many ways to this community. He's worked tirelessly as a nurse throughout the COVID epidemic. He's done everything he can during that time. Obviously, that was extremely stressful time for him, especially working in the ICU at that time. I think that exacerbated his drinking. Obviously, he made a horrible series of choices that night, which has led him here. He's facing losing his career that he spent years working in and going to school to obtain. It's very possible that he may have to change career fields in order to support his family. Look, what happened was extremely serious. And we're not downplaying that in any way. I mean, it's extremely a serious event, although what I believe is most appropriate for Mr. Martinez is rehabilitation. I believe that he is a hardworking man who will. Oh, that's right.
Thank you.
I believe he's a hardworking man who will do everything that he's required to do to get himself back into good graces with society and the poor and his family. And so we're just asking for you to give him the opportunity to do probation. Obviously, it's clear, I think, to everybody that he does need alcohol treatment. He's willing to do whatever he needs to do. So we just ask the court to take all that into consideration and sentence him to probation.
All right. And the court see that there's no amount of restitution that's being requested from the complainants in the case. The court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in prison, give you credit for any time served, taking consideration County Court Cause number 687552. And I would recommend for you the therapeutic community, show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. We can go off the record. According to your plea bargain, I've actually sentenced you to the minimum. I did take into consideration the fact of your occupation and what you've been doing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yvonne Pettis. All right, state. Yes, on this case, you all were to obtain damages or
There was,
images.
Radiology images. I was informed yesterday when we were following up on our request. We mistakenly sent the subpoena. There's apparently 2 different fishing trails in San Antonio. And it was sent to the wrong one. So we sent a new subpoena yesterday to obtain them. I would just respectfully ask for another 30 days to get that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Pettis, please? Yvonne Pettis. All right, we'll come back on May 1st. And so at that time, the court will expect the images to be in defense's care.
Yes,
Is
sir.
there any other discovery issues?
No, Your Honor.
And so at that time on May 1st, you said May 1st, Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Was this just a regular reset?
Yes. All right, so May 1st, and state you need to make an offer on that date.
Understood.
And I'll expect an acknowledgement of discovery. Thank you.
Sir.
And then counsel, on this motion that you filed,
Yes, Your
how much are you asking for?
Honor. 2,500.
Okay. All right, and the clerk will give you a copy of that.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Which page is she on? She's on the recall. Who's here on? Christopher Gonzalez? Okay.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. And where is Christopher Gonzalez? All right, so we are here for a photo, something with a photo lineup.
Supplemental discovery. Your Honor.
Yeah, we were missing the actual copies of the photo lineup that was shown to the victim. We have provided that to defense. I believe discovery is complete at this point.
All right, so I need an acknowledgement of discovery.
I'll get that today.
Your Honor, I did receive the discovery. I was able to download it yesterday. So I do have what I was requesting on this matter. We'll sign off on the discovery acknowledgement.
All right, and has an offer been extended?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and when was the offer extended?
In the last setting, Your Honor.
All right, so today is your plea deadline date. That's what it says on the docketing sheet. So,
This time we were rejected. On asking for retrial.
all right, so how long are you all expecting this jury trial to last?
4 days.
All right, your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Christopher Gonzalez, family violence. They're anticipating 4 days. And counsel, are you, when I say counsel, I mean state, are you in receipt of the request?
Yes, he provided me a copy.
And are you in agreement or?
I indicated to defense, I wouldn't necessarily agree, but I would simply ask the court.
All right, so state, you're gonna have to get off the fence. So are you in agreement or no?
No,
Opposed or yes?
I am not in agreement, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll need to have a hearing.
Last time, so to say you were in agreement.
So if y'all want to rediscuss that,
We
you can.
will discuss it in a real.
All right. All right, so what date, Ms. Ferguson?
June 6th.
All right, your jury trial date is going to be June 6th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Caroline, can you let me know when they're ready on this motion? Who's here on Rudy Cantu? And what are we here for on this case?
We're asking the court to allow this Cantu to transfer his probation from Bear to Nueces County.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
I have, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No opposition from stable probation. The purpose, judge, is for him to move to the fiance he's expecting.
Okay,
Wife now, sorry, Judge. And his wife's father lives in Nueces County. Lives alone, so she's going over there to help him. I guess.
all right. Probation?
Your Honor, there's no objection. He's completed his class that he needed to complete. He's been giving negative UAs. He's up to date on his fees. He's been reporting on a regular basis.
All right, I've signed the motion. And so probation will get with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jesus Solis.
So Judge, I did have an opportunity to confer with Daniel, and he's okay with a reduction from 20 to 10. There's two cases, one of them is set at 10,000, the other set at 20. Daniel's okay with 10 and 10, and my client is as well.
All right, file the motion with the agreement in it and the court will sign it.
Thank you, Judge.
But I will tell you, Mr. Solis, the court, everyone please whisper. The court is going to add conditions for mental health. So because I see that there's a competency evaluation that's been filed. So I'm going to ask for special needs and for him to contact the Center for Healthcare Services. All right, so
Yes, sir.
please include that in your motion.
Yes,
Is there anything else?
no, that's it.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean,
He wants other counsel, but we didn't approach the court on that because.
oh,
the other issue
I don't
was-
address, I don't address motions filed by defendants when they have attorneys representing them. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Jess Moffness. Is that you?
No, Judge, we just need to make a close on it.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm sorry, what? Okay, thank you.
Hi, Judge.
Yes, I do. That'll be next. Yes, what is happening with this case?
Judge, I have conferred with state and they are reviewing the case. And it's really just like a reset. I believe this is a first setting.
Okay. All right, so do you have all the discovery?
I believe I did, Judge. I'm not aware of anything missing at this time.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for discovery and also state on Moffness, you need to be prepared to make an offer in 30 days. All right, we'll be back on May 1st.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Padilla. Okay. Padilla. Yes.
Yes, Judge. So the update is, there may be a mix-up as far as whether or not he's completed for orientation. My client believes he has. PTD says that he hasn't, so they can't dismiss today. I'm asking for the reset so that Mr. Flores can come in and fix whatever he needs to fix.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Padilla, we're gonna reset that for May 2nd. And can you let Mr. Padilla know that if it's dismissed before then he won't need to appear?
I believe his daughter speaks English, what we're using her to translate.
Okay, you mean she speaks Spanish?
He speaks both. He speaks
All right.
English, he can talk to me. He speaks Spanish.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ferguson. We'll give you a reset form. Monica Gallardo. Monica Gallardo. Okay, thank you. And after Monica Gallardo, it will be Corwin Campbell, Luis Gomez, Lindsay Pierce, Jose Garcia, John Sanchez, Quentin Kolb, and Jose Gallegos.
Christopher Gonzalez. Yeah, so to confirm.
Yes, they're gonna,
2 seconds.
all right, just give me a moment. Hello. All right, Miss Gallardo.
Yes.
I know all of your issues, but you must do UAs. Everyone, please whisper, and everyone clear the well of the court. Just put your file on the state's desk and they will give it to you. Yes. All right, so I understand the issues you're having, but you also need to do drug testing. Okay? All right, so probation. I'm gonna want another drug test with her and we will see if we need a confirmation, then do a confirmation.
So from what Ms. Guardo tells me is, she does call the UA hotline this morning. And she is to test today.
Okay.
So we can get a more.
They can't get a treatment in, I'll go and help your daughter. You know, it takes 15 minutes for the treatment.
Okay, I mean, you can go after you do your treatment. The hotline has a window, correct?
I'll do it as soon as possible.
All right, so I'm gonna want an update on her test from today.
And I'll try to do it right after, see if you get it her, please.
Okay. All right, is there anything else, probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Abrams here. All right, thank you. No, no inconvenience. All right, Christopher Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Yes, so are you all in agreement or no?
Yes, Your Honor. The state will agree so long as there is a geographical no-go zone around the neighborhood where the defendant and the complainant met. They were neighbors at one time.
All right, and so the court doesn't know, what is that location?
I can provide that
Okay.
information.
All right,
My client also live in that neighborhood.
all right, what's the name of the neighborhood?
It's over the Tranquil and what's the one area? Something like this.
Okay.
I lived on Amber Knoll.
I'm sorry, what?
I lived on Amber Knoll, was the name of the street. I don't know where she lives.
All right, I'm gonna put in here, no contact with the complainant. Or, let me see. What is it? Does it have a location in the police report?
So the road is Amber Knoll Road.
Is that NOL? I'm sorry,
It's
NOEL?
actually a K,
N-O-L-L.
KNOLL.
Okay. All right, so there's be no contact with the complainant or the Amber Knoll location in San Antonio, Texas.
Your Honor, could I also add Fall Pass Street,
Could you spell that, please?
FALL, and then Pass, PASS Street.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Maybe the excuse.
Yes, after you sign the reset form.
You signed it.
All right, then you're excused. Corwin Campbell,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. Oh, are these motions? Did you all confer over your motions?
I sent them to Jason quite a while ago. That happened.
All right, let me have you all step back because I know this is going to last a while. So just give me a moment. Luis Gomez. The attorney for Luis Gomez.
Right here, Judge.
Hello,
Is that for sure, Judge?
this is him right here.
Oh, okay, good.
All right,
I was
welcome.
Not here earlier.
All right, welcome for.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Lindsay Pierce.
Hey, Rich, right?
They're gonna reapproach him. Yes, and where's Lindsay Pierce?
First row.
All right, have the discovery issues been resolved?
They have, Your Honor, and we are signing a discovery acknowledgement today. We're just waiting for that to be written.
All right, did the state make an offer today?
They did, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Lindsay Pierce, can I have a, at the end of April for a plea deadline date?
24th.
All right, April 24th is going to be your plea deadline date. After that, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ms.
And this-
Ferguson will give you a reset form.
And then we need excuse.
Yes,
Most people find it.
yes, thank you. You're welcome. Jose Guadalupe Garcia. Who's the attorney for Jose Guadalupe Garcia? Court is calling 2022 CR 2009, State of Texas versus Jose Guadalupe Garcia. I believe it's criminal trial division.
Yes, ma'am.
Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense,
Matt Stolhansky for the defense, Your Honor.
and are you Jose Garcia? I'm sorry, Jose Guadalupe Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest on February 14th, applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is silent on your application. They're taking several cases into consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor, I've reviewed my client.
any objections, defense?
No objection to it.
State, any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any witnesses?
No, ma'am.
All right, just argument?
Yes, and Mr. Garcia would like to address the court.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jose Guadalupe Garcia.
All right, what would you like to say?
Trying to get the first probation because I just had a daughter and I just found out her mom's in custody now. And our daughter got placed with CPS. I do got custody of my other kids, but my brother got some right now. That means I might be locked up and my dad wouldn't help.
Oh, just go around. See how easy that is? All right, go ahead.
My dad was, just diagnosed with COVID like a week ago. I'm trying to get back out there, due to my bad choices I made in life, trying to make up for my kids, to be there for them, and I want to see if I get a second chance, being out there for my kids and for my dad. I lost my mom not that long ago, and I know that's probably one thing she wants to do is be there for my kids, and I couldn't do it then. I was being selfish at the time, not caring about others, but myself. And now I realize, sitting here this couple months, it's not all about me, or it's about my family and other people around me. And I wanted to, just try to get this probation so I can get back out there and prove to myself and my family that I could do it and be a father to my kids. Like I'm supposed to.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Garcia is on SSD. Of course, those payments have stopped since he's been in jail.
No, here's my question. I thought you had more questions for him. Why does it take getting arrested for you to decide that you want to be there for your children?
Because, I talked to my daughter, my oldest daughter's 13. And, she asked me a serious question if I love them, and, it kind of hurt me and realized that, hey, my daughter's right. Like, without the question, and I do love my kids, at first I was being selfish and thought myself only. And, just because they were with their mom at the time, I thought like, oh, well, they're okay. But, they need both, the father and their mother in their lives. My mom and dad are always there for me, even though they're separated, they're always in contact together, it's not right for me to do that to my kids, my family to do that to me.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. As I said, Mr. Garcia received SSD. Obviously, payments have stopped, he's been in jail. He's been in jail for quite a while. We've had several conversations. He's reflected on he's being stupid. He can't do this anymore.
So do they give funds to people who are documented?
I'm sorry?
Do they give funds to people who are documented? Because he's documented.
Yes, ma'am. He
Okay.
still gets his SSD,
Okay.
SSID, actually.
Okay.
And as he said, the mother of his children has now been incarcerated. If you allow him to be on deferred, we still got to go fight with CPS. He's got to get his money started back up and. Like I said, in our conversations with him, he's realized he's just been stupid and he can't do this anymore. He's got to grow up. Which takes some of us longer.
Why were you in possession of body armor?
We had got a storage unit and it was left in the vehicle. I had given it to a friend of mine. And it was left in the backseat of my truck. And I totally forgot to take it off. And I got pulled over when I was going to get some to eat for not turning my signal. And for my paper plate being expired. They ended up being in the backseat of my truck.
All right, and I don't see any restitution. They're asking for restitution of $8,000 state. Do you have any documentation for that $8,000?
Judge, I would have to check if you could just give me a moment.
Because he's saying that his truck was trashed and crashed. Do you have any objection to the $8,000?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. The vehicle in question was, Mr. Garcia's girlfriend was buying that truck from the gentleman. It was a contract for title type thing.
Mhm.
They didn't make some payments. Mr. Garcia saw the license plates. He took the license plates. Anyway, that's how it happened. But he still has possession of the vehicle in his backyard.
Okay. All right, this is
So-
what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money is to run concurrent. Take in consideration 2023 CR 0705, 2023 CR 0706, 2022 CR 3151, County Court Cause number 688288. And there's restitution, if any, to Hector Calderon, and cause number 2023 CR 0705. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. I want to let you know I did read everything and I did listen to your counsel's argument, okay? All right, do better for your children. All right, thank you. And I'm sorry, this goes in there.
I dismissed, Your Honor. I apologize.
Yes. Oh, yes, you are. Thank you. Who's here on John Albert Sanchez?
Did we put her?
Oh, counsel, before you leave, I need to give you the dismissal. And yes, you may approach counsel.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Okay. You rip me off?
All right, John Sanchez. The issue on this case was copy of CPS records.
We received a copy of the CPS records, Your Honor. There's 2 items missing in discovery that we have not received yet.
All right, what discovery items are missing?
There is a phone of Mr. Sanchez's that was collected.
Mhm.
And we have not received, and based on the records, it looks like it has been forensically analyzed, or was at least in that line. We haven't received that. Additionally, there is for lack of a better word, a co-actor. And we'll just leave it at that for this, when we haven't received that person's anything about that person, any records. And we're totally unaware of what's going on with that case.
All right, so is this a sort of a case that has a co-defendant or no?
And not really a codependent. It's, our victim made 2 outcries.
Okay.
To 2 different individuals, one of which is juvenile. So I'll have to talk to juvenile about getting information on that case.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 45-day reset on Mr. Sanchez? And would that give you, would that give you a chance to give me an update on the phone records?
Yeah, and I'll have to know, if it's a password protected phone, that could be the issue. And I'll discuss that with defense counsel.
Okay. And it's for discovery.
Be on May 18th.
All right, we'll be back on May 18th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
To receive that, may we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Quentin Cole. Hi. Hi, where's your client? Quentin Cole. You want to check and I'll.
Yeah.
All right. Jose Gallegos.
Be present, Judge.
Hi, it's always great to see you.
Top of the morning, Judge.
Top of the morning. All right, so
Judge, we confirmed, we got an offer, a deferred offer. I just like a little time to talk to him about it. He's got misdemeanors pending. Sorry, felony, another felony coming and then a misdemeanor.
all right, how much time are you asking for?
A couple of weeks, I think, 30 days.
All right, well, what are you asking for, Bo?
30 days.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a plea deadline date, 30 days? This will be your last time for a plea deadline date. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, May 1st.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. After you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Yeah, have some-
Jose Del Bosque,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome.
I apologize, Judge, I did not have it on my docket today.
Oh, no problem. So there is some kind of THC testing.
Yes, Judge, and I indicated to Mr. Turek that I would go ahead and amend the indictment just to take out the THC, because at
Okay.
this point, I think we have, there's other evidence to support that charge, and from talking to DPS, I think it would be in the best interest to proceed.
All right, are you going to have any objection to the amendment?
No.
All right,
Yeah, as long as we're referencing counties, right?
all right. So Ms. Ferguson, on this case, I'm going to want, since they're amending it, I'm going to want a plea deadline date and give them a plea deadline date for 3 weeks. And then after that, it's going to be, the next turnaround is going to be jury trial.
All right, Judge.
Judge, I think you, April 25th.
All right, April 25th.
Isn't that Fiesta?
Yes, it is. Oh, but we're not enjoying Fiesta, are we? We're going to be working.
I don't go to Fiesta.
All right, after you sign that, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's here on Fanny Stewart? And then Miss Bill, after this, are you ready with your client? Okay. All right, where's Fanny Stewart?
Judge, she is in the hospital. I received a call from her family saying that she had a stroke. And then I asked them to bring something to the court to show that she was in court. In the hospital, and apparently they did come yesterday and leave a note, and it should be in the file.
Oh, let me check. Yes, it is, but it's not signed. Ah, there it is. All right, Miss Ferguson. On Fanny Stewart, can I have a 45-day reset and we'll see where we are?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Just one moment. So we'll come back on May 18th. If there's still some issues, just let us know.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
It's nice to see you.
You too. Is Richard on vacation somewhere? So I can look at the photos?
No, he's here for like 3 days.
Oh, wow. All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, Kolb.
We received an offer today and I'm just asking for a reset.
Okay. Oh. And so many clients are dressing appropriately for court. I like that. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date on KOLB?
April 25th.
All right, we'll come back on April 25th. At that time, let me know if you're accepting the offer or not. Ms. Ferguson, we'll do your reset, then your excuse.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Joseph Rentala.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning. So have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Rental's been approved to apply for PTD, so we're gonna get that application in this morning.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date on Rentala.
May 2nd.
All right, on May 2nd, all of that paperwork needs to be turned in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Julian Morris. All right, did the state make an offer?
Yes, Judge.
Right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Juarez, I need a 3-week plea deadline date.
Your Honor, if we could just have a reset for next Tuesday to do the plea.
Oh, sure.
We're gonna accept the offer.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we set this for next Tuesday?
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you back on April 11th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
And counsel, is there a reason the plea can't be done today?
Yes, Your Honor, I just want to make sure he thinks about it.
Okay.
before this meeting.
All right,
So me and the prosecutor, that's probably a little bit of time to give you some time to think about it. Make sure he wants to do it.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Justin Barella.
Yes, Your Honor. We discussed this with the state and we've got an offer, but we want another reset, to give them time to think it over.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date on Justin Barella. All right, we'll be back on April 25th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Angel Roman. All right, do you have all the discovery?
We do, Your Honor.
Has an offer been tendered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, your client needs to be in the middle. All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Angel Roman, I need a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date.
April 25th.
All right, you'll be back on April 25th. At that time, you need to let me know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. All right, thank you. Fernando Carmona. Just have a seat, sir. Who's the attorney on Fernando Carmona? Oh,
I just walked in, Your Honor. I apologize.
oh, no problem. Come down, sir. Court is calling 2022 CR 9805, State of Texas versus Fernando Carmona. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Todd Lessert for Mr. Carmona.
Are you Mr. Carmona?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Judge, may it please the court.
Yes.
I was going to give the court an advisory on the status of Mr. Carmona's case and my
Okay.
negotiations with the state.
Yes.
Mr. Carmona has a pending charge as one of the underlying, new number 1 on the MTR, unlawful restraint. His attorney on that case is a Mr. John Garcia, as I just called and left a message with Mr. Garcia, because part of the proposed resolution on Mr. Carmona's case involved the resolution of that unlawful restraint. And I was going to ask the court for maybe like a 1 or over the weekend, perhaps reset for me to reach out to Mr. Garcia and speak with him regarding that misdemeanor case as well.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we recall this for next week?
Yes, it would be the 13th.
All right, we'll be back on April 13th.
Very good, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Just one moment. Ms. Ferguson, can you make sure that John Garcia is here?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to speak with him over the Easter weekend to make certain we're all on the same page.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
That's what we're doing. I'm gonna reach out to him.
All right, who is here on Tyler Small?
He's in custody, Judge. He's not present today, but I confirmed with the state on this. I filed a motion to set reasonable bond. They agreed to setting it at 30,000. It's currently set at 50,000. Just so the court is aware, he has current conditions of no contact with the child in the case outside of any CPS orders.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. All right, are the parties ready on Corwin Campbell? Good morning. Oh, yeah, happy Friday, right?
About my roll of concrete.
Oh, hey, how was it?
Great. My son paid for everything. There was 50,000 attendees.
Oh, my gosh.
No, there's 4.7 million square feet of section space, and they took every bit of it and everything around that all the building. It was unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed them. Yeah. All right, so we're here for motions on this case. I'm sorry, you need to be in the center, sir.
Oh, he goes.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 4368 State of Texas versus Corwin Campbell Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Dorgans for the state.
Defense?
Mike Latimer.
All right. So we're here for pretrial motions. Are you Corwin Campbell?
Yes. Yes, one.
All right, first motion the defense has filed is motion to remove GPS monitor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there an agreement or no?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Your Honor, I understand the state's position because of the nature of the offense, and in 36 years of practicing law, I've never put as much detail in any motion regarding the defense of this case as I put in this motion, because I believe strongly that this is a case of actual innocence. They have the wrong person.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need you to speak up.
Oh, I'm sorry. They have the wrong person. The actual person that's the culprit in this case is Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell's a strange father. He's had very little relationship with since his birth. And he's okay. And he's been on this monitor since his arrest in July 27th, 2022. You signed an order removing the payment because he's now bankrupt. He's lost all his savings.
A little louder and stop. What?
He lost all his savings. He is now bankrupt. And that was in a previous motion that all those details were in there. He works and lost his job with Fiat that he had for many years because of this case. Now has another job that he's working at almost within a month of his arrest. And he supplied an affidavit of how this monitor has affected his life in regards to his son and family, and that's quite detailed. And I'd like Carmen just to speak about that monitor and how it has affected him.
All right, I've read all of the, I've read your entire motion with all of the, your rendition of what you say the facts are. Is he on tracking or is he on, not on tracking? What is he on?
Yes, he's on tracking.
Yes.
Yes, he's on tracking. That was monitor is no longer paying the fees. Considerable amount of money that he owes and was not able to pay on.
Okay.
But he's never been in trouble before, not even arrest. He's had no problems with the monitoring or the tracking.
All right, State,
Just at the point of verification for that last statement, I believe that there was an failure to appear from August 16th of 2022. That's the only violation of the GPS conditions. As you can see.
Failure to appear in court.
Yes, sir. I believe that warrant may have been recalled a few days later, but I haven't entered the warrant issued in due process.
yes, it was August 16th.
I think that, and I explained to the court, I think I advised the court that I told Carmen not to appear that day. I can't remember what the circumstances were, but I'm sure there were. He told her to appear.
Okay, all right, the motion to remove GPS is denied. And so he's on GPS tracking only.
Okay.
The next motion is all right, it's discovery motions.
Well,
Okay, I've already signed this. So what,
it stems from that discovery motion back in September. If you see exhibit A of the motion was set,
yes,
you granted two discovery requests, but you said with a court order.
which numbers are you speaking on?
Number 7 and number 9.
All right, what's the issue with number 7, to produce the document or documents from the CAD system that showed that the 2006 Audi A6 license plate number MPN 8862 came back to the defendant? So have you not received that?
No, I haven't. I presented the court order to
All right.
the state. They've never signed it.
State?
I have no problem with signing it, Judge. I don't know. It doesn't look like the order's been signed by the court.
No, I signed it.
Oh.
I did it internally. And on the motion, on the order, I put rulings internally. I put all the rulings were done internally. So is that the same thing with number 8?
Yes.
State, any issue with number 8? Time and date that law enforcement utilized the clear research that law enforcement was able to verify there were 2 males with the name.
I mean, as long as that record still exists, I don't know if the detective will.
Well, on that, it says it was withdrawn. That was withdrawn by the defense.
And Judge, I just sorry, it's Jason Garahan for the state. I just talked to Mr. Latimer about this and I've spoken with the detective about it, that those are not recorded. That is something that they would look up on their system, but not have a report for that. I believe that was either done by email or by verbal communication in court at one time.
Okay.
And the withdrawn by state, by the defense was number 9. We're referring to number 9. Number 8 was withdrawn. Number 9 deals with that document.
Okay.
Because
And
the
number
defendant
9?
made reference to 2 males were found.
All right. And so state, with regards to that, you're saying that's something they look up, but it's not recorded?
It's not something that is placed in a report, and I've spoken to the detective about that in particular since previous time. Your Honor.
Okay, so if the state can simply tell me or an email that there are no documents reflected for 7 or 9, I'll be satisfied with that.
As of myself talking to the detective himself, no, there's no actual reports that are printed out. It's just a system that they go to, they check on it, and then they use that during their investigation. So no report printed from those systems.
So with regards to number 7, where it says produce the document or documents from the CAD system that showed that the 2006 Audi A6 license plate number MPN 8862 came back to the defendant, there's no recording of that.
There is no recording, no, Your Honor. Just what is written in the police report by the detective, or I believe the detective.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then number 9, produce the document or documents from the clear research that law enforcement was able to verify there were 2 males with the same name.
Again, no actual report printed. It's same response, Your Honor.
All right. All right, defense, what else?
The other motion was simply a motion to examine whatever documents, any evidence that the state has in its possession, including the SAPD property home regarding this case. It would include the shell casings that were found at the scene, anything else that was discovered. with SAPD.
So were these motions not previously ruled on?
No, they were not.
All right, not it's this motion about allowing for the inspection that hasn't been ruled on because it wasn't presented to the court.
Being presented, yes.
All right, so counsel, if you could do the court a favor, when you file your motions, if you could separate them, because I just have one packet
Okay.
and it's, all right. The motion to inspect, examine and test physical evidence, do you have that?
Judge, I didn't have it e-filed, but I've had a chance to review it. We don't oppose the motion.
Well, let's go over number by number.
Okay.
All right, the first one, spent shell casings found at the scene.
State does not oppose it.
So that's agreed. Number two, all the spent bullets found inside the victim's vehicle and on the street, including all reports from CSI searching inside the victim's vehicle for spent bullets.
State does not oppose.
All right, that's agreed. Number three, all demonstrative evidence in the state's possession that the state intends to present to the jury.
As far as I know, we have not prepared any demonstrative evidence at this time, so we do not oppose that.
Okay. All right, I'll put in that none has been prepared. If demonstrative evidence is prepared, then counsel just reapproach on that. All fingerprint cards as part of the investigation of this case, that's number four.
No opposition.
Number five, all fingerprint cards of the black Audi with license plate MNP 8862.
No opposition.
Number six, all ballistic reports comparing the spent bullet shell casings to the bullet entry holes, at least 8 in the victim's vehicle.
No opposition.
All forensic reports resulting from any search warrant for the black Audi owned and registered to Corwin Damble Campbell Sr. to determine gunpowder residue inside the black Audi license plate number MNP 8862. That's number 7.
No opposition. And is, I don't know if the defense can get any more specific, but hopefully that was already turned over. I don't know if there's anything that they're expecting that has not been turned over, that already was made available.
I don't think it was ever done.
Oh, all right. Well,
All right, the next, number 8, all other physical evidence taken by the state from the scene of the alleged crime or from any complainant as part of the investigation in this case.
And with regards to that, as long as it's within the state's possession, the state has no opposition.
Any objections to within the state's possession?
No. And that would include the law enforcement.
Sure.
All right. Next. Motion is defendant's motion to remove the GPS monitor. We've already colored that. Any other motions? That's all I
No,
have.
Your Honor, except I just want to state for the record and very respectfully to the state, because I know they're very busy. I've been requesting the incident detail report for some time. I still haven't received it.
All right.
And the warrant for my client's arrest
So you want the warrant of arrest,
and the affidavit to support the warrant and the incident detail report.
affidavit from search warrant,
Arrest warrant.
from arrest warrant. Okay.
Judge, I'll get my investigator on that.
All right. And you want the incident detail report?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell, are you working now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. Ms. Ferguson? This case, I want it brought back at the end of April to make sure that the defense attorney has all of this. All right, we're going to come back on April 25th for discovery. Mr. Campbell, for that actual hearing, you don't have to be present. And counsel, I know this is coming back for jury trial on May 16th. So we'll make sure that it's on the record with discovery with your client present, but I don't want him having to miss work. All right. Are you okay with him not being present on that day, counsel?
That's fine.
And Mr. Campbell, are you okay with not being present?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have the reset form for the May 16th date?
No.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. So he's set on May 16th. And I believe that's for a jury trial. Can you give him an extra copy for that? And also,
We do already have a reset.
okay,
We signed it. Yeah, he has that. I just don't know. what-
okay. Well, on the 25th, make sure it's in the system that the defendant does not have to appear. All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you. so
All right,
much.
thank you. You're welcome.
Yes.
Who's here on Daniel Durone? All right, who's here on Michael Johnston?
I am.
All right, your sister was just here. She said you will be here for 3 days.
She's gonna be here for 3 days.
No, that you will only be here for 3 days.
She knows me too well.
She does.
Here for a day and a half.
Oh.
No,
All
no, actually, I'm here for another week and a half.
right, where's Mr. Johnston?
He is missing in action. He's probably on Commerce Street somewhere. Yes. Spending the night on the sidewalk.
Let me see. Is he on bond?
He's on bond.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 1649, State of Texas versus Michael Keith Johnston. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Jorgens for the state.
defense?
Richard Garcia for the defense, Judge.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:52 a.m. The defendant has not appeared. The defendant did not answer docket call at 9 a.m. this morning. Deputy Laura, did you announce Mr. Johnston in the hall?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. He did.
All right, defense, have you had in contact with your client?
No contact, Judge. The information that I have on my appointment order is not valid. And if I'm not mistaken, he's on a PR bond.
All right. State.
Commissioner for forfeiture, Judge.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant. Okay, thank you. Court is going to issue a judge's warrant. Now remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yes. Oh, sure. Let me just do this one. Daniel Durone. Is the attorney here for Daniel Durone?
Mr. Coach, you're
Okay. Yes, I'm ready for the compliance. Antonio Casablanca.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes. Thank you. All right, so with this, it's an issue of him not participating in gang supervision.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
And the issue possibly of the UAs.
why are you not submitting?
I've been calling and they haven't called me to submit, Your Honor. I've been doing the number, they have me on the IBR or IDR. I call every day, every morning at 8 o'clock, and it has not told me to go in and submit it.
All right, so we're gonna do a UA today.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll do a UA today.
Your Honor, so the last time we were here in court, we did a UA, it was positive for THC. We were on the IVR line for him to test for levels. Per the system, the IVR line asked him to test on Friday.
and it said mistest. We can do the test here, but he's already said that it's probably gonna be positive.
Okay.
So in order to get a baseline on where he is with his testing, we can send him over to the Recovery Healthcare Center.
All right, so I want him sent over to Recovery Healthcare Center today. There are not to be any missed UAs anymore. With regards to the gang affiliation, you're on gang supervision. They say you're a gang member. If you want to get an attorney in here, then that attorney can be in here. But I will tell you, you're on deferred adjudication for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The range of punishment for that offense, if you're revoked, is up to 20 years in prison. So either you want to be on gang supervision, or either what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed, and they're going to say, one, you're not doing your UAs, and two, you're supposed to be on gang supervision and you're not. And then if you have an attorney and your attorney comes in and your attorney shows the court that probation is wrong, you are not a gang member, then I will hear that and I will listen to it. But what I'm telling you is I'm ordering that you be on gang supervision, and I'm ordering you to not miss any more hotline calls for UAs. So you can either sign for gang supervision and do it or not do it. If you choose not to do it, what will end up happening is a warrant is going to be issued for your arrest. You're going to have to make a bond. Either you're going to make that bond or not. If you don't make that bond, you'll be in the box in orange. We'll bring you out. We'll either have a contested hearing or not. Either you'll plead true or not. And then if I find that it is true, I'll make a decision on whether or not to continue you or whether or not to sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. That's what you're looking at. All right, is there anything else?
Your Honor, he completed a life skills test that was on our approved list for cognitive behavioral vendors, but the certificate doesn't say cognitive behavioral. I just want to make it clear to the court that he did complete the class, and with your permission, give him full credit for it.
All right, I'll give him credit for that.
Yes.
Is there anything else?
The only thing I don't know, Your Honor, where to do is doing the service. Probation hasn't told me.
I'll give you a list.
Oh, she's going to give you a list.
And that'll be the only thing that's left for $500.
He did make a substantial payment, and I'll make sure in the UA hotline that everything is working properly for him to be notified for his UAs.
All right. This is the last time I'm going to address the UA hotline issue. This is the last time I'm going to address gang supervision issues, and I'm writing on the docket sheet that it has been addressed. Is there anything else? All right, thank you. All right. Who's here on Aisha Dawn? All right, Ms. Dawn, if you'll come forward. Hello.
Hi.
You always give this to me, even though you've sent it by email. All right, so what have you learned?
But to take care of my son properly and watch his every move. That I can do what I want as a mother, and just being clean. Doing everything I have to do properly, not trying to fight the law or get away with stuff.
You know, there's a song, and I know I always age myself. Isn't there a song called I Fought the Law and the Law Won? They usually do, right? So I received this motion to discharge you early. Whether or not you discharge early, is going to depend entirely up to you. So you know what I'm asking for? Has it been done?
Not yet, Your Honor. I did ask how she would render the results. She said negative. And she also told me that she did bring a support person here in regards to the CPS.
Okay. Oh, let me hear from the support person.
This is my son's paternal grandmother.
Oh, awesome. Hi, so you're the paternal grandmother?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
All right. Sometimes,
I'm going like this because I can only hear from this ear, not this one.
all right, and see, this is my, what I call my allergy ear. So for me, this is a good one. So I know grandparents never expect to be parents again. They just want to be the grandparents for the grandchildren, and here you go. So I appreciate you stepping up and looking out for your grandson. So thank you so much. So how's she been doing?
She's been doing great. We've been bonding. We had gone mediation. We had to do mediation at first, and I gave her a lot of credit. I'm so proud of her. She's doing great with my grandson, you know, and we bond and we go out, you know, every night when it's not even my weekend, she'll try to let me see my grandson. And of course, you know, when it's my weekend, I get him and I'll still call her. She'll go to my, it's just a big bond that we never had. And I thank God for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank God for that.
All right, so you give me a clean UA today, you will be off probation today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank
So it depends on her. So you do that, but you realize that children, I always tell people, children cannot raise themselves. You can't have a child and then send them off to Travis Park and say, good luck to you. So you got to put them first. Okay. All right. So if it's negative, you'll be off probation.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Who's here on Michael Cox? And then after Michael Cox, it will be Duran. All right, are we ready to proceed on this? Who's on Cox? Yes, and okay. Just 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my everything shut down.
Same thing just happened to me not that long ago.
Yeah.
The weather.
Norma, everything shut down.
You'd think that. Just did.
So we have to resubmit. Yeah, so we logged out for some reason. Oh, I don't know what's happening because it shows connecting for me.
Yeah, it says preparing live stream.
Okay. It shows connecting. I don't know what happened. Something with haywire. I think it's the rain and everything. Just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't know what's happening on my end. All right. Thank you. All right. Are you both ready to proceed?
Judge, so really quickly, so the defendant does have another case that's awaiting indictment. It's of a similar nature. I did reach out to our victim advocate so that she could reach out to that victim to see if there's a way to resolve these cases altogether. She called not that long ago and went voicemail. From my understanding, at least reading the police report, the victim is in Florida, and so they've mainly been able to contact him by the phone. And so I'd imagine that it's going to be a short amount of time until we get to speak with him. So we're just asking for a little bit of time just to talk with him.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Ferguson, can we recall this for is next week enough time for everybody?
That should be enough time, Judge, just because we'll just keep calling him.
All right. If we can recall this next week.
Yes, sir. It would be on. Oh, the 13th.
All right. We'll come back on April 13th. All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Here.
Yeah, it's doing something weird on my end. All right, who's here on Daniel Derone?
Judge, I believe that song is sung by the Beatles.
Who was it sung by?
I thought the law, the Beatles.
Did the Beatles sing I Fought the Law? I don't think so. Yeah, because I was like, where's he going with that?
Just kidding.
Yeah. All right. And you're on that side, counsel. All right, so this is set for April 13th. Why we're here.
It was recalled to today. I got trapped in some Zooms. I notified Ms. Ferguson. I didn't realize you guys were in a trial. So she just had informed me that it's being recalled for today. I have conferred, there are one more likely two different discovery matters that I've conferred with Ruben on.
What discovery matters?
I need to follow up with the police department about a video that was alleged. I'm not sure if the police department, an HEB security footage that I don't know if the police department got, so I'm not sure if that's even in existence. But there is another case file involving the complainant on this case that counsel is seeking reports for. So I'd have to follow up on that to see which case that is and see if we can tender those over to counsel.
The complaining witness in Mr. Duran's case is a complaining witness in another case of a similar nature. And I've let Ruben know that I would like to proceed the discovery on it because I think it might contain information that.
You don't need to whisper, please. Thank you.
That kind of meshes with our defensive theory. And it may just contain information that might be Brady or exculpating. So he's going to look into it and see if they can voluntarily hand it over. If not, I might need to have a hearing before the court and request it and have the court order it if it is inclined to do so. So that's kind of where we are right now, Judge.
All right, so when will you have this information for the defense?
Your Honor, I'd have to look into the case to determine which is the other case filed concerning the complainant. But if I know this was reset for the 30th previously, I should be able to have it by then, Judge. Along with the other video to determine whether or not that even exists.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can you give me a 30-day reset? I'm giving you all a 30-day reset. You are going to have to confer off docket because that's going to be your plea deadline date because we were back here before and February and the plea deadline date had expired. So Ms. Ferguson?
I can do May 2nd.
All right, so May 2nd is going to be your plea deadline date. All right, is there anything else from either side?
I'm from the state.
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Aisha Ortiz. Okay, thanks. Sorry. Jesus Garza. Jesus Eduardo Garza. Miss Owen, it's always a pleasure to see you.
I'm here for Suzanne. She twisted her knee at bowling and she only had one in person and I said, I'm happy to run over.
All right. So this is the perfect example of, you know, as we age, there are certain things we can no longer do. Bowling is now off the table for us, everyone. If you were born in the 80s, bowling is off the table. Oh, it's off the table.
How long has it been off there?
It's off the table now. Bicycling off the table.
Anything that where you can fall off, we must never fall.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're at the stage where everybody, you know, if you were born in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you're at that point where it's walk with care.
Yes.
Somebody posted something of Chucky and said how he would look now, because if Chucky, the dog, grew up, he's middle-aged. And somebody's been posting photos of Chucky. It's middle-aged.
I know. I don't like anything that comes to mind.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, if anybody is here. Well, Mr. Cox, you know what? if you know who Teddy Ruxpin is, you, all this stuff needs to be, you can't even ride a bicycle anymore unless it has 3 wheels. All right, so where is Jesus Garza?
He's being housed in Oklahoma Federal.
Yes.
Apparently judge, and I know it's a 12 setting. I don't know his status. I don't think DA's office does either.
Someone, you're fine.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Judge, I did send an email, I believe, the last setting,
Yes.
and I did get a response from our clerk that they contacted I guess what it says, and they indicated that until his case is resolved by plea or dismissal, that they will not release him. And I sent it, that was on February 27th of this year.
Mhm.
So then I sent another email just now, just to see if our clerk could get an update on it.
Yeah.
Haven't got a response, but I just sent it this morning. I put it in our system. I'm not aware of what the charges are, and I don't know if they're cross-referenced in the fact that they are at the same time or not.
Well, the last note I have is from February, and so we reset it for this time because we're realizing it's federal. And Paul Smith is on the federal case.
Correct, that's what.
Yeah, and so he came in and it's sort of in limbo a little bit on the federal side.
Yeah.
So I'll set it for another 45 days. And Norman, could you make sure that, see if Paul Smith can appear?
He's actually in charge.
Okay. All right, so 45 days.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we'll come back on May 18th. All right, have a good one.
You too.
Tell everybody to walk slowly. And Deputy Laura, I can say that because I'm at the point, if I fall down, I have to think about how I'm going to get up. I'm like, how can I get
I
up?
fell once and it was like 3 days later, still felt like I had whiplash, like
Oh, yeah,
little kids just fall, jump up. No, doesn't work like that anymore.
it's gone. Those were the days.
Oh, thank you. Maybe I'll tell Suzanne. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. You too.
Judge may be excused.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Who's here on Fernando Trail? All right, so he's in federal custody. I think we were supposed to come back on June 20th. Why are we here?
It was set today, Judge. He showed up.
Yeah, no.
Unaware. I just came to tell you he's in federal custody.
All right, Norma, it's been, I don't know why this isn't making it in the system. I think the system is doing something weird. It's Fernando Santos Trujillo. It's actually been reset for June 20th.
When, Judge?
June 20th. That's the date I have.
Fantastic.
I say that I have that he's in federal custody in Karnes City.
Oh, good. You know where he is because I don't.
Yes.
I'm glad you knew.
And actually, the June 20th date, it says that you requested the June 20th date.
Well,
Oh. All right, so it's June 20th.
and Mr. Aguilera's now on it?
Mhm.
Okay, well, I guess Fernando.
Christopher Anthony. If you come forward, please. All right, Mr. Anthony, your attorney can't be here today for medical reasons. So we're going to bring you back on April 10th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset. Ms. Ferguson, if you could do a reset for April 10th for Christopher Anthony.
Yes.
All right, and she'll give you a reset. Javon Crockett. Who's the attorney on Javon Crockett? Oh, and I think I gave you my docket sheet. Yeah, so it went somewhere. Oh, Caroline. It's a Monday. All right, so on this case, today is his plea deadline date. What is happening, counsel?
Your Honor, we did tender an offer to counsel. I believe his client's rejecting it. Yeah.
I thought you tried to get in contact.
Well, yeah. If I can confer with counsel.
Sure. Yes.
Yes, Judge, we're ready to go forward.
All right. How long you expect this jury trial to last?
I believe 2 days, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date, family violence, 2 days. It's on Javon Crockett. All right, your jury trial date will be June 6th. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you'll have to plea open to the court. You will be brought over dressed in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to appear in some other different attire, you'll need to sign a clothing exchange, and your attorney can do the clothing exchange. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And counsel, the court has the discovery acknowledgement, so I'm assuming there's no other discovery. All right, Casper Ayala. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10600W, State of Texas versus Casper Luis Angel Ayala. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Jorgens for the state.
Defense? All right, and are you Mr. Ayala?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna need you to speak up, and everyone, I need you to whisper. Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilty and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Casper Luis Angel Ayala who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 10600W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on November 2nd, 2022 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
In this case, the state alleges in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Casper Luis Angel Ayala, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2022 and January 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. We'll waive the remaining allegation, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is for the court to grant the motion to revoke community supervision and find Mr. Ayala guilty of the underlying offense and to assess punishment under section 1244A of the Texas Penal Code for a term of 71 days incarceration in the Bexar County Jail with credit for 71 days time already served. So if the court calls this agreement, there should be judgment satisfied.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, is this your agreement?
It is now.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision. I'm going to sentence you to 71 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44, give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement And because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. You're going to have to make changes in your life. If you do not, you're going to find yourself in and out of the Bexar County Jail, in and out of prison, and you're going to wake up and half of your life is going to be gone. Do you understand? All right, do better. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, there are plenty of free places for you to go. When you get out of the Bexar County Jail, my advice to you is you probably need to go to a sober meeting and get your life in order. You understand? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome. Yes. Who's here on Eddie Marine?
Right here, Mr. Green. Arnold, this is.
Yeah, on this side. He was walking out the courtroom saying, I'm done. All right. What is happening on this case?
Morning, Your Honor. We have a plea offered by the state, which I don't think we're gonna be inclined to take. This time, we're gonna request a trial setting, Judge.
All right, your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Fergus, can this be recalled for the 17th?
Which, this one.
Yes. All right, we'll be back on the 17th. You'll be dressed for trial, ready to go.
See you on the 17th, Judge.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Cruz Rebus? Just one moment. All right. What is happening with this case? I have that a plea deadline date was April 3rd and the plea deadline date was extended for today. So what is happening?
Judge, we've been given an offer from the state. After speaking with Mr. Rivas, he initially considered it, however, ultimately decided that he wants to move forward with trial, Your Honor.
Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargaining agreements in this case. If you, without good cause, if you decide to enter a plea, it will either have to be open to the court if the court does not find good cause to accept your plea. Do you understand? All right. Ms. State, how long you expect this trial to last?
I mean, just the guilt innocence phase should only last probably maybe 2 days, Your Honor.
All right. So Norman, they're saying this will be half a day? No, 2 days. And I'm assuming you all are going on the arson case? All right, we'll come back on May 30th for your jury trial. You'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll have to do a clothing exchange with your attorney. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, he just wanted me to put it on the record. He does have a hearing set for bond reconsideration with Carruthers on the 18th, but I just wanted to let the court know I did advise him.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you make sure that you give him a reset form for the 30th in case he's released?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.